My name is Kuypers. I originally ran a poetry open mic in Chicago for over half a decade. Because of a job change, we've been here for just about a year now. And I'm trying to fit in. I hope I'm doing okay. And because I usually write as a Chicago girl about things that are stressful and angry, because guess what, city life, you know? I'm like, all right, here's my challenge. I'm going to write about, I will say, more connectivity than peace, but I hope you enjoy. A few of you have chapbooks of most of what I'm reading tonight, and thank you. People are rushing. Don't have time for breakfast after you slam the alarm snooze button 3 times. Stumble out of bed, you're clean enough. Forget the shower, clean up your face, smooth out your hair, put on your work clothes, grab a briefcase, lock the door, speed up but avoid the sweat of a near pant to make it to your train or to the bus stop. You can grab something to eat on the way, you think, as your light pant doesn't change once you've stopped at the stop. You've still got places to be. Check your watch. Look down the street. Where is your carrier? You need that vehicle to get you to where you need to be. Pace a bit. Adjust your clothes. Check your watch. You know, this is corporate America, you think. Hurry up and wait. The world rotates at nearly 1,000 miles an hour. Everything is spinning. You see more and more, but feel connected less and less. So maybe it's time to make choices, and it's time to lay claim to everything that we've been blindly giving away. Because if I can make choices like walking flights of stairs instead of taking smoke breaks at work, or if I can pick up recyclable garbage left on the street by piggish people who can't even take care of their own trash, because if I don't do something after I complain, I'm almost as bad as they. If I can make choices like that, maybe it's time to look for peace or even meditate anywhere. I mean, if you're waiting for work at a bus stop, then try to relax right there. Maybe you can reconnect by disconnecting. Find some time like this to just stop, because everything around you moves too fast anyway. The world orbits its axis at close to 1,000 miles an hour. It speeds around the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. And our solar system is hurtling around the outer edges of our Milky Way galaxy at 483,000 miles an hour. And newsflash, our entire galaxy is speeding away from other galaxies too, at an astounding 1.3 million miles an hour, which the last time I heard, is getting closer and closer to the speed of light. So, if the news from the world is bombarding you while you're being hurtled through the cosmos, maybe it's time that you need to take to meditate, mentally step outside it all. Maybe then you could gain a new perspective, come to peace with everything. And maybe that is when you disconnect, that this hurtling earth can come full circle and everything can connect again. Wanted to see the other side of the world. Wanted to run the streets with wandering cows. So I thought that docking at the Bay of Bengal would lead to a great vegetarian communal experience. But women are second-class citizens there, forced to wear layers of clothes everywhere to hide themselves. So I walked along the naval base in Visakhapatnam, wandered the row of emperor statues along the shore, and I wondered why 2/3 of the statue plaques, written in Hindi and English, wrote that most people there were emperor and poet, warrior and poet, freedom fighter and poet. Which made me think, poetry is a platform for peace. And it made me wonder, do we all live in this balancing act where we speak softly and carry a big stick? Which creates the crucial question, Do we need war to have peace? When is it possible to understand peace if we haven't gone through a battle to get it? Human life has always had that uphill battle where we all work, we all fight some form of war until we all finally find peace. I had a really heavy workload. Months went by, the workload piled, the boyfriend was bringing me down. And I'd wake up every day in so much pain. My shoulder, elbow, back, and knees. The pain drove me to the doctor. But after the blood test, they found nothing wrong. But they guessed it was arthritis and gave me really strong pills. They'd make me dizzy. They'd knock me out, but they didn't relieve the pain. So after 4 months, I got away. Got away from the work, got away from the boyfriend, and enjoyed the sun and the sand and felt at peace again. And that's when I realized I don't need that boyfriend. And I can handle the work, so I didn't need the pills. And the aches and pains, they went away. And that only happened when I brought peace back again. Every time I went back to my childhood getaway, every time I'd go for a walk, I felt like half of the people there knew me. You didn't feel afraid to say hello to strangers because everyone here was at home. Now, I don't drink coffee. I don't like the taste and I don't need the caffeine. But when I was here at what seems like my own little retreat, I'd pour myself a really weak cup, sweeten it up to replenish my sweet stock. And I'd sit at a table outside in the morning to write. Or I'd sit at a bench and watch retired couples play round-robin doubles tennis. They'd ask me if I'd like to join them. But no, I was happy here with my insanely weak coffee that was just warm enough to warm my spirits and to keep me company as I enjoyed the morning breeze and the connection I felt with everyone around me. After hiking for miles at Arches National Park, I realized that coming at a cooler time of year pretty much meant that I had the entire park to myself. I walked for miles, saw no one, anywhere. And I walked along my trail, and I saw that there was no one that followed my trail along this ridged mountainside edge to a plateau. And then I decided I did something that I thought I would never do in a public place. I undressed, and I sat in a lotus position on top of my small pile of clothes and tried for one brief moment to connect with nature. I'd close my eyes, then open my eyes, find no one still there, then look around, maybe close my eyes again. And the only thing that stopped me was the breeze at this mountain ridge, till I decided that maybe I had enough of nature for one day, before I put on my clothes and continued my walk, watching the red rock, and truly feeling that I was finally a part of the world. Already in my wetsuit, I sat in the back seat of a car, itching to get into the water. The water at this bay in Oahu was amazingly blue, and all I wanted was to get into that water and swim with the fishes. And as soon as we got close, they warned me not to cross that coral reef in the water where the currents could take me out too far into the deep. So I nodded my head and went straight to the shore. And not too far in, I saw a school of bright blue, dinner plate-sized fish with bright yellow fins. And so I followed the fish. And after the fact, they told me that the first thing I did when I got into that water was I swam straight past that coral reef in the water. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just swimming with the fishes. On this day, the current didn't take me away, because the only thing that would take me away was not the current, but the vibrant fish that let me share their space with them. I wasn't there to invade their space. I was just there to swim with beautiful creatures and commune in a part of the world that so few people ever have the chance to enjoy. So, yeah, I'll cross that line. I'll do it again, just to swim with the fishes and connect with any life form I possibly could. Standing in the water, maybe 20 meters from the shoreline, I saw a sea lion facing off with another sea lion on the beach. In an effort to say that they were the beach master, one started to chase the other into the water to kick them off of their domain. Now, a sea lion can get up to like 7 feet long, so when one male started chasing the other into the water, these giant animals were barreling straight toward me. But no, I wasn't scared. They weren't after me, so I stood perfectly still as one splashed past me to my left and the other splashed past me to my right. I think a few people at the beach were scared for me, but I was fine. And then I went into the water and swam toward a row of sleeping, white-tipped sharks along the ocean floor. I counted more than 24, and I was stunned how perfectly these sharks remained so straight in a row when they slept. So, after seeing the sea, I swam back to shore and turned my eye to the sky. The frigate birds would swarm us humans, hoping for leftover food. But I photographed flying finches and watched Nazca birds, both male and female, sit on top of eggs so that they could keep the eggs warm before they would hatch. It's nice to see, when looking at creatures not like you and me, that we can see that they may not be as scary as can be. But like you and me, they are just living to be free. And that, when you look at it closely, that is really nice to see. After a night camping at Bryce National Canyon, yeah, there was snow on the ground, but my sleeping bag zipper wasn't broken. I got out of my tent in the morning, and a few little birds fluttered by. And now one seemed to hang out a little too close, so I put some grain in the palm of my hand, stretched out my forearm, and remained perfectly still. Almost on cue, less than 2 minutes later, one bird landed on the palm of my hand and enjoyed the bounty I gave them. And suddenly, I felt like I was Mother Earth, and I could stretch out my arms like a scarecrow, but this time the animals wouldn't be afraid. And with my outstretched arms, I would give them food and shelter and love. And maybe that is when I twitched my finger, or else I was out of food. Because the next thing I knew, my 3-inch little bird took a step or two along my palm and across my fingers before it flew away. Yeah.